Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your Wednesday warm-up. I'm Carter, and today's practice we're going to slow down so we can feel the details and the subtleties of the body and our day. Let's get to our mat. All right, yogis. Come to the width of your mat, extend your legs nice and wide, roll your heels out just a little bit so the outsides of the feet are parallel to the short ends of the mat. The length is arms extended, hands drop, ankles or outsides of the feet relatively close to this area. So you have a good sense of a really nice wide stance. Take the thumbs towards the lower back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, lift the chin, lift the chest. Instead of like a really heavy back bend, think long spine and a long neck. So the shoulders draw down and away from the ears. The elbows are drawing towards one another and towards the floor. And as the hips sink forward, you'll feel some length and extension through the spine. Open up the mouth a little bit to relax your jaw and wag it a bit. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale out your mouth with sound. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and straighten those elbows the best you can. So nothing changes much except for the arms. And we're still lengthening. We're opening up through the sternum, the heart chakra, the fronts of the shoulders and chest. And then draw your chin towards your chest, draw your hips back a little bit, and feel the length of spine, and then slowly come forward. Arms could come off your lower back if you're feeling like you need more sensation here, and tuck the chin. So our practice today is very slow and mindful, so we can feel the subtleties of the body, and we can breathe into it, so we're not going to rush through any of these poses, and we're going to give ourselves an opportunity to explore by drifting your arms a little bit from side to side or bending and straightening the knees. One more deep full breath here. You may start to feel some tingling in the hands because we are cutting off a little bit of the circulation in the fronts of the shoulders. And then drop those hands down. Tuck the chin. Hands can be right underneath the shoulders, or you can rotate your hands so your fingers are facing between the legs and you can walk your hands back even farther. A couple deep full breaths here. We're letting the blood rush to the brain, kind of wake it up a bit. And then we're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and we're going to walk the hands towards the right foot. You may get there, you may not. The nose is drawing towards the right knee. Some of you may be able to touch. I can't. And it's okay, right? We don't do yoga because we are flexible. We do yoga so we can find intimacy and connection with the body. And within that process, we get a little bit more flexible. We even get a little stronger as well. But it's not the reason why we do it. Another deep, full breath. Again, we're not rushing through any of this, and you may be a little uncomfortable, so make those micro adjustments so the sensation can be managed. So stay here, press your left hand into the floor, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now soften the left groin. Draw the belly in and think about trying to stack your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. So you have a twist through mid-spine, you'll have that dropping of the left groin, and you'll have a little bit of power on that left hand pressing down. Bend your right elbow, take the back of the right hand towards your lower back or maybe around the left hip bone and draw that right shoulder and elbow back even more. For a little bit more sensation, take your left hand, grab your right foot, ankle, or shin, and give yourself a little bit more. These modifications are only there if you're not feeling enough sensation. Exhale, bring both hands down, back underneath the shoulders, tuck the chin. Walk the hands a little bit to the left. Bend your left knee. Lower your left hip. Roll under your right heel. So this is skandasana or low lunge here. So make your micro adjustments if you like. So if rolling onto the heel does not work for you, you can root down through the foot for a little bit more balance. So that movement will change the sensation in the right leg. So just bring your awareness to that. The left heel can be off the ground if your hips are a little tight. Maybe you can get the left hip or left heel down. Now I can get there, but as you can see, my torso is a little bit farther forward, and I want to keep that spine tall. So for me, in this pose, I'm going to need to stay on the toes here. And you have options as we breathe. You can stay just like this. If you're feeling like you need more sensation, take your left elbow inside that left knee and you can press it away to create more sensation in the legs or space between the legs. You could lean towards the right leg, get more sensation in the hamstring or groin. And you can even add a twist if you like. Right arm could reach up as you roll your right wrist and wiggle the fingers. We're here for a couple more breaths, and if you're still needing more, there's a lot of options in our yoga practice. The right elbow can bend, back of the hand can find the lower back and draw this right shoulder back. And if you're ambitious, you can try to go for that bind. You drop the left shoulder, the left bicep around the left shin, and search for the fingers. It's a little bit too much for me today, so I'm going to stay. One more deep, full breath. And then walk your hands back to center. Oh, lift your hips up. Wide leg forward fold again. Tuck the chin. Come up halfway. Flatten your back like a table. Hands to the hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows towards one another. And gently bring yourself all the way on up. Woo. Heels in, toes out. Bend the knees. Slide the hands down towards the knees or thighs. And a little bit of movement from side to side. And bring the weight to the heels as you soften the toes. Think nice long spine and sink low into that stance. And then the arms reach up. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Goddess pose. Big inhale, slow exhale. Let's take the hands and the elbows towards one another. Press the palms, forearms, and elbows towards and squeeze. While squeezing the forearms and elbows, lift the elbows up as high as you can. Inhale, open them up. Go farther, 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 farther. And then take the hands to the ears. Take your right elbow, draw towards your right thigh or knee. Keep the opposite elbow back so the heart stays open. Squeeze the right ribs towards the right hip bone. And feel the space in the left ribs. Inhale, come on up. Once again, elbows are back, heart is lifting, chin is tucking. Left shoulder, left elbow. One of these things over here towards that left thigh, knee, hip, whatever on that other side. Right elbow, right shoulder draws back. Squeeze the bottom of the left ribs into the hip. Breathe space into the right ribs. Should be feeling a little heat in your quadriceps. Inhale back to center. Hands come together at your heart. Prayer. Straighten the knees. Ooh, should feel pretty good. Rotate your heels out. Thumbs to the lower back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, lift the chin, lift the chest. Again, think long and tall with torso from tailbone to the crown of the head. And the crown of the head is reaching to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you, rather than just collapsing in the upper back. Interlace your fingers behind your back again. Opposite thumb comes on top. Squeeze the shoulder blades, straighten the elbows. Jet your jaw up and out, move your jaw around. Draw the chin towards the chest. Hips draw back. Nice and slowly with control. Hinge at the waist. Arms could come off the lower back if you feel like you need more attention to open up the fronts of the shoulders and chest. Tuck the chin more. Maybe drift your arms a little right and left. Nice. This is a nice, slow hatha practice. Release your arms. Hands can find any position that's comfortable, maybe underneath the shoulders, or they walk between the legs. You tuck the chin more. A slow hatha practice is always really interesting. People that do vinyasa find this practice very challenging because the mind is moving very quickly and they're used to the deep, full breath and the sensations there for a moment. But in this practice, we get to find out a lot of things. Where does our body soften? Where does it hold stress and tension? How do we respond to the sensation? It's very revealing. All right, so walk your hands a little bit to the left, nose towards that left knee. Once again, you just stop when you start to feel that sensation in that left leg and a little bit of a twisting of the body. Right hand is going to root down. Twist and open left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And once again, we're going to focus on that left shoulder as it draws back and tries to stack onto the right shoulder. That right groin is softening as we twist. We keep pressing through the right hand for grounding and stability. Left elbow bends, back of the hand finds maybe the waistband or around the right hip as you draw that left shoulder back. For a little bit more, right hand reaches for the left shin, foot, ankle, big toe. See if you can smooth out your inhalation and exhalation. And if you can't, you're probably doing a little too much in the asana. Right? We are searching for that sensation that supports us in our need and that we can feel the details and subtleties, meaning that it's not just one sensation that's super intense. It's other things, right? Left hand comes down, come back to center, and then a little sway of the hips from side to side, and then slowly start to bend your right knee. Draw your right hip down towards your right heel into that skandasana low lunge to the other side. So once again, you can be on the left heel, you can root down through the foot. You can keep the hands down, that right heel up or down. This, I'm a little bit more open in this side, so I can root down through that foot pretty good. So I may just stay right here. This feels pretty good. For more, right elbow presses inside that right leg. You can lean towards the left leg to get more sensation. You can extend the left arm up. You can bend the left elbow. Back of the hand can find the lower back, and for your bind, you can swivel that right bicep around that right shin, search for the left fingers. So the bind for me is a little easier on this side, meaning that I'm a little bit more open on the right hip. Doesn't mean it's good or bad, it just means that this is where my body's at. And so that is intimacy, and it's awareness. You know, it's something that's just available for me at this moment. Not always is. Exhale, release everything, hands down, walk your hands back to center. Oh. Wide leg forward fold again. This time let's interlace our fingers behind our head, squeeze the elbows towards the ears, and tuck the chin like you're going to give yourself a double chin. And you're pulling for length. So head away from the shoulder blades and shoulders away from ears. So we're kind of drawing the head down, but the shoulders drawing away from the ears as we create space and length in the upper back. And then come up halfway, hands to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Oh, heels in, toes out. Knees bend again. Hands slide all the way down to the knees, and we're going to move from side to side. So we're going to go a little bit more into the groins here. Right hand's going to press on the inside of the right leg. And you're just going to drop that right shoulder. Oh. And we're breathing. Again, you can move a little bit from side to side, find the edges and sensations of that great groin. And we're spending a little bit of time. For a lot of us that are, practicing either Ashtanga or any vinyasa, usually more than 3 or 4 breaths brings us a different type of awareness and practice within the body. And myself including, like when I get to the 5 or 6 breath mark,
I'm ready to come on out. And the saying is, right, it's not a yoga pose until you want to get out of it. So maybe we're doing a lot of yoga today. Back to center, left hand presses inside left thigh, drop that left shoulder. And if you do this practice several times, which it's always a great idea to do practices more than once, like 2, 3, some people say, like, is it okay to do this practice again? Absolutely. The more you do it, the more you find the uniqueness of each pose, because you're not caught off guard of where you're going and what you're doing. So you're kind of get really into it, and you start to find the way to find the pose, right? Come back to center, straighten the knees, ooh, and then rotate all 10 toes towards the front of your mat and step that back foot forward. Oh. Hands to heart center, shake out the legs, inhale, arms reach up, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Now we're going to spend a little time in this forward fold, not too long, but I want you to kind of bring your awareness to some of these subtleties. Let's bring awareness to the feet. As you bring your weight to your heels, lift your feet, maybe the balls up off the ground, and then soften the toes down. So that's going to bring awareness to the calves. You can also bring the weight a little bit to the toes as you lift your heels off the ground, swivel your heels out just a smidge, so the outsides of the feet are parallel to the short ends, or to the long edge of the mat, so it opens up through the lower back. Knees can be bent or straight. If your knees are straight and locked, your lower back is flat, right? No rounding. It'll be a little bit too much stress on the hips if you're locking the knees and rounding through the spine. It's not good on the spine either. So if you can't get a flat back, bend the knees at least a little bit. Sway your hips side to side, tuck your chin. And then just step that right foot back. Let's go into pigeon and left side. So left shin comes down, left foot in alignment with right leg. You're supporting your knees, your back knee with something soft if you need it, your left knee by bringing something underneath your left hip or left thigh. You're scooting this left foot forward until you feel enough sensation in that left hip. So if your shin becomes parallel and you can't get this right hip square to the floor, you're going to want to draw this back, right? Elbows down, tuck the chin, and ease into it. Now keep in mind, our pigeon pose, for me at least, can be a little bit challenging because we're trying to find stillness and the sensation can be quite intense. We're not here for a super long time. We're not doing yin, but we are giving ourselves enough time to soften into it, which is we got about 3 or 4 more breaths. We're staying here for about a minute. A nice slow hatha practice is each pose anywhere from 5 to 8 breaths, right? And keeping in mind that a yin practice is anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. So when someone says, oh yeah, yin practice is super easy, I'm like wondering what they're talking about. Maybe it's easy for them. It ain't easy for me. Yin is not easy for me. All right, inhale. Hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up. Roll over your right toes, lift your right knee. Send that left leg back into down dog. If you're feeling like you need some movement, you can go through a chaturanga, upward dog, and then down dog. And then just take your time. We're just going to go into pigeon on the other side, so you can move that left leg to make sure that's taken care of. And when you're ready, you're going to take this right shin forward. Same alignment, right foot in alignment with left leg. Keep in mind, right side, left side, probably different. So you make the modifications in a way that supports this side. And you make sure that the joints are all feeling supported. So knees, ankles. And then you soften into it. And then breathe. And then we got, again, about a minute or so. And when we're done with this one, we're going into Shavasana. And because these practices are little, I would say they're like micro practices. Shavasana is only a few moments, so if you're up for a longer Shavasana, you can stay 5, 10 minutes, even 15 minutes if you have the time to stay there. But our Shavasana today is going to be about a minute or so. It's like a quick little meditation to digest this sensation. 2 more breaths here. Utilize your practice to support your body, no matter what practice you're doing. If it's my class or anyone else's, or if it's vinyasa or slow or yin or whatever it is, use it to support and nurture your body. Inhale, hands under shoulders, lift your torso on up. Just drop to your right hip, sweep your left leg around. It's time for Shavasana. So heels find the corners of your mat, lay flat on your back. Take your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Let your feet fall open as you relax your lower back. Tuck your chin so you're long through the back of the neck. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. Let's start from our toes. Soften the toes, the ankles, calves, knees. Relax your thighs, your hamstrings, your hips, so the legs are relaxed and soft. Soften the fingers, the palms of the hands, the wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, and shoulders, so the arms become very relaxed and soft. Soften the belly, muscles on each side of the spine. Relax your chest, upper back and shoulder blades. Soften the heart, so the torso is relaxed and soft. Relax your neck, your throat. You can maybe even feel gravity in the skin of the neck. Relax your jaw, drop the tongue off the roof of the mouth. Soften the breath pattern as it becomes a little bit more of a whisper. Relax your forehead, your inner ears, and maybe even see if you can let the eyes float away from each other in their sockets. In this moment, with this very relaxed and soft body, we are connected to all things, the body and the mind, the body with the planet, ourselves with our friends, family, loved ones, to everything in this universe. And we are complete. No fixing necessary, no modifications necessary. We are all so very lucky to have access to these amazing bodies on this gorgeous planet. Maybe make an agreement with yourself that we will not let one moment slip through our fingers. They are all so very precious. Allow your breath to deepen. Start to awaken to this new body by wiggling your fingers and toes, and maybe rolling the wrists and ankles. Rock the head from side to side as you soften through the neck. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Windshield wiper your knees side to side as you soften the lower back. Draw the knees towards the belly, chest, wrap your arms around your legs, squeeze, lift the head and shoulders off the ground as you squeeze into a ball. Right arm reaches up over your head, roll to your right side. A moment to be here now. Press your hands into the floor, bring yourself up, comfortable seat. Take the left hand to the heart. Take the right hand to the belly. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Namaste. Double thumbs up. Nice work, yogis. If you like this practice, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. And please subscribe to my channel to keep updated on all the latest practices. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. I love you guys. Peace.